Hey there folks, this week's video is for all my advanced players out there looking to improve their understanding of the fretboard. Today we're going to be talking about a concept called movable chord shapes, where we take a chord shape we know how to play and we shift that chord shape up the fretboard so it becomes a different chord. Let's start off by talking about what a chord is. Now, in the case of this G chord, I've got a D note on the C string, a G note on the E string, and a B note on the A string. Now, what happens if I take this chord shape and I actually shift it up by a half step? What ends up happening is the D note moves up a half step, becomes D sharp. The G becomes a G sharp, and the B becomes a C. Now I get a whole new chord called G sharp or A flat. Now, in the case of a G, I actually am fretting 3 out of the 4 strings, which means 3 out of the 4 strings are changing notes here. The G string is always staying open. I've got enough harmonic information with 3 out of the 4 strings that you hear that new chord appear as you shift it up the fretboard. Let's take an example of an F. In the case of an F, if I shift that whole shape up, what ends up happening is I only have 2 of the 4 fret strings that are moving up the fretboard. I have these 2 open strings that are staying open, and I don't quite have enough harmonic information to register that new chord. So what I can do with that F chord is actually take these 2 fingers to hold it. 2nd fret is held down by my ring finger on the G string, and 1st fret on the E string is held down by my middle. That frees up my pointer finger to be able to bar across what I call the 0 fret, right? This is fret 1, this is fret 0. Now, technically, I am fretting all 4 strings, so I can shift this chord shape up by a half step. That F becomes an F sharp. I move it again, it becomes a G. I move it again, it becomes a G sharp. And if I move it one more place, it becomes an A. Now, we know how to play an A, 2, 1, 0, and 0. What this gives us is another option to be able to play that same combination of notes in a different position on the fretboard.